Welcome back to Say No To Lashon Hara, Day 20. Today's episode and the entire project is being done as a refuah shlema for Chana Bat Semefega. With the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew that we, in exile, would be lost without Him. And not having a Beit HaMikdash to be able to connect and commune with Hashem, what did God give us? He gave us something called Mikdash Me'at, which means a small, holy place, like a small temple of sorts. And where is that small temple? Where is that Mikdash Me'at? The Chachamim tell us that that holy temple on a small scale refers to the Beit Knesset and the Beit Midrash, which means the place where we come and gather to pray and the place where we go to sit and learn Torah. Those two places carry within them the presence of the Shekhinah in a minor way, like the Beit HaMikdash once upon a time had. They allow us to be able to connect with, to pray, to study, to absorb, to surround ourselves with holiness, and thereby save ourselves in a difficult galut, in a difficult exile with all sorts of other forces trying to operate upon the Jewish person and Jewish persona. Now, since this is such a holy place, speaking words of simple idle chatter in the Beit Knesset are already considered to be inappropriate. We learn it from the words Umikdashi tira'u, where the pasuk says that a person should fear Hashem's holy places, and one of the holy places is a shul, a Beit Knesset, or a Beit Midrash. In these places, when a person speaks idle chatter, that's already considered to be something which is inappropriate. But if you could just imagine how much more so for a person to speak Lashon Hara or Rechilut in that place, what does that say? It says that you're paying no attention to the fact that this is a place where God Himself resides, if you will, and the act of speaking Lashon Hara therefore indicates that the person does not believe that Hashem is in this place. That renders the Beit HaMikdash Me'at, this small temple, this place where you could go to pray, to spill your heart out when anything is going wrong, a place where you could come to recharge your batteries in terms of studying Torah. It takes and sucks all the holiness out of it because you're saying with your words that you don't really believe God is here. Because if you truly felt Hashem's presence there, how would you speak idle chatter? Talk about sports, talk about this or that, but how much more so words that God Himself specifically told you you're not allowed to say. You would never say that directly in front of the king unless you didn't feel that the king was actually here. And if that's the case, the Zohar tells us specifically about a person breaking Hashem's rules in Hashem's house that has unbelievable ramifications in the higher worlds, in the Olamot HaEmet. My friends, the Hafetz Chaim says that if we speak about Lashon Hara in a Beit Knesset, you have to realize how this unfortunately plays out. We discussed already the idea of it not being an appropriate place and it being a, if you will, transgression of the idea of sanctifying Hashem's holy places. But imagine a guy starts speaking Lashon Hara, he's got a great story to tell you about this guy who's cheating on the government, or that guy who's doing this terrible thing, or that fellow who doesn't pay taxes, or this other guy who lied in order to get into a yeshiva or into a school. And the story sounds so interesting. Of course, you want to know all the details because the Yetzer Hara for Lashon Hara is so strong. What happens? He probably chooses a good time to speak. He's not going to tell you the story during Shema, during the silent prayer, so he waits till the Torah reading. The Hafetz Chaim plays out that conversation during the Torah reading, not only is it a disgrace to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but also now he's disgraced and said that the Torah itself is unimportant. Not just that God is not here, but the words of Torah are not as important as the words that I am saying. What a challenging thing this Lashon Hara is going to turn out to be for you. You've now, through that action, not only done what we've spoken about, but also created an unbelievable Chilul Hashem, because you're doing it in front of a minyan of Jews. As the pasuk says, V'lo techalelu et shem kodeshi, do not profane my holy name. They've disregarded and they're not listening to the words of Torah, which the pasuk in Yeshaya writes, Ve'ozvai Hashem yichlu, the ones who leave, Ve'ozvei Hashem yichlu, the ones who leave HaKadosh Baruch Hu will perish. And not only that, they've spoken devarim betelim. The Vilna Gaon says that it is impossible to understand the punishment that a person who's having such a conversation in the Beit Knesset during the Torah, missing Kaddish because they can't be bothered to stop this exciting story, are going to receive. The last element is that after the Torah is a Kaddish, as we said. And if you're really in a critical moment, you'll probably carry on telling the story during Kaddish too. Kaddish has the opportunity within it, if a person says Amen Yehishmer Rabbah with all their thought and all their strength, to undo a terrible, severe decree in the heavens. And look what we lost out on. So the Hafetz Chaim is saying, on the positive and negative side, there's many sins, many mitzvot that are disregarded. But also, think of the lost opportunity of the time that we have in shul, the prayers that we could have uttered, the things that we could have changed if we were there in solemn prayer instead of in exciting chatter. And unfortunately, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was giving all these gifts away for free, literally, all you need to do is open your hand and take it. Being busy with Lashon Hara actually results in us not cashing those incredible checks or receiving those incredible blessings.